Welcome to the Canceled Show. I want to say this is a therapy session, but I don't know. I'm kind of in my bag right now. I don't know if it's what I'm wearing, but I feel a little different. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the lessons I learned in life is that life sometimes is like Hollywood. You have to be the best villain you can be. And being loyal sometimes, bro, turns you into the villain. It's like this. When you just fit, or when people just feel like you fit the role of the villain, you could be the nicest guy you want to be, the nicest woman you want to be. You could just be the nicest person you want to be. But if life just feels like sometimes you just fit that villain role just a little more better than anything else, people would turn you into the villain, bro. It's like Hollywood. I know there's certain people in Hollywood you ask yourself, man, why are they always playing the role of the villain? And then you might meet them in real life. They're the nicest person. Some people start to feel, man, they're too good at playing the villain. There has to be something off with this guy or this girl. But that's life, though. And sometimes that comes with loyalty. Like, this is the thing with loyalty, bro. Like, when you're loyal to a certain degree, some might say loyal to a fault, but I'll let you decide that. You end up in certain situations where you might be going through something with somebody. And maybe that person did something to you and they were wrong in the situation. And when you and that person talk, they know they were wrong in that situation. They acknowledge it in some way, shape, or form. But then, the way that person explains that situation to other people, they look at it like, man, maybe you were the one that's wrong. And then this is where the villain comes in. Where if you just look like you fit that villain persona or the villain role a little better than the other person, you know what most people are gonna do? They're gonna think you're the villain. You did something wrong. And then this is where loyalty comes and plays a crazy role in this whole situation. Where now, depending on how deep a relationship you have with that person or how loyal you are to that person, you might feel like, man, this third person is saying all these things, but whatever happened is between me and that person. And our relationship is so deep where it's almost disloyal to start saying certain things about that person to you because you weren't even involved in the situation. Like, you just an outsider in this situation. So how can I go into details where it's almost going to feel like, man, I'm bashing that person behind their back? You almost feel like, man, I'm being disloyal, especially when you and that person have been through certain things and y'all have a certain type of bond or had a certain type of bond that you, where it's like you might not still mess with that person, but that bond was real to you. The things y'all went through was it's still real to you. Where it's just like we can end the relationship, but and when I mean relationship, I don't mean it could be any type of relationship. Um, as far as it could be friendship, it could be anything else, like, you know. Um, but whatever that relationship was, it was so real where even if we're not in the same in good terms, It doesn't mean I should go bash, not necessarily you. It's not necessarily the other person you're protecting. What you're protecting is those memories, those moments, those special times. Because even if things are bad, there's still special times. And then there's certain things you go through with people where it just bonds you with them. At least it bonds you with those experiences, bro. And even if, just for talk's sake, you're not loyal to that person anymore, you're still loyal to those experiences. You're still loyal to all that. And sometimes you feel you're a little disloyal just because you're speaking on those experiences sometimes. But then the other person, they might not have the same respect for those experiences in that relationship. Where the things that they might say, and they usually live out things too. Don't get me wrong, they usually leave out things when they talk to a third person, just like you live out things when you talk to a third person. But you might be living out things out of loyalty and respect for that relationship, where they're living out things to make you look like the villain, like you the one that didn't respect that relationship. And then when you look like the villain, or you just fit that better than the other person, people automatically just think, man, that other person is right. This person is the villain. And then especially when you respect that relationship so much that you're not willing to speak on it, especially in a negative light, in a negative way, you try to walk a certain way around it, people automatically feel like, man, I believe the other person more, just because like they feel like they could get more information from the other person. And that's a side of loyalty that's crazy. And it's like, what are you going to do? It's like Hollywood. Sometimes you just got to play the best villain. You got to be the best villain you could be. Because you know when you talk to that person, it's a whole different conversation than when someone else talks to you about that person. You know the vibe between you and that person. They know what's going on. You know what's going on. So life is like Hollywood sometimes. You just got to be the best villain you could be. And make sure you kill that role too. Make sure you kill that role, because you got to be great at everything you do. And that's where life is like Hollywood sometimes. But you're acting, but you're not acting. You're acting like you don't know what's going on. You're acting like, yeah, but you know, yeah. If you feel me, you feel me. If you don't, I hope one day. But it's just real sometimes, you know. I can't make you real. It just is what it is.